Hello, family. Hi, hi, hi. I got here as fast as I could. Well, I had a little break downstairs with Karen, but I needed it. Forgot to take any meds though, so I'm way behind in that. So if I keel over, Patrick Filas, welcome back. Nice to see you. Been a while. How are you, Patrick? Welcome, welcome, welcome to Worldwide Ramblings, Wednesday, the 18th of February. So I missed all the Ash Wednesday services over at St. Joseph's until the last one, which was the Spanish Mass. Now, I live in a sanctuary city, small one, but a sanctuary city in New York, which is a sanctuary state. And there's some wonderful Spanish people in this city, Latinos. Latinos, and every single one of them were at St. Joseph's Church tonight. I mean, I think I've been going there since 1965, sporadically, admittedly, but I went to Catholic school right there. The church is next to the school that has been vacant in terms of any, steady use, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade since, oh, I don't know, 2003, 2004, something like that. They closed, but they do use it from time to time, but apparently not lately because I noticed they didn't shovel away the snow at the fifth grade classroom and the second grade classroom. So, oh, wow. I mean, I got there fairly early because I know it's going to be packed. And I sat on the side, a bench that's about should hold three people. Well, there were four kids eventually sitting next to me, and mom was kind of in the aisle, and she would tap over at them and stuff like that. So it got really busy. Then I saw all these people file in, like 30 people just file in. And I thought, well, where are they going to sit? There's no seat. There's no seat. And that's where they were going to stand for the entire mass and then ashes afterwards. So I've never seen that many people there. The parking lot was incredible, but I was in a spot where I was able to get out pretty easy. I said, I'm going to be late because I'll never get out of the parking lot. It's like I'm at a Donna Summer concert or something back in the day. God rest her soul. She knew the Lord Jesus Christ. So, Patrick Wilburn follows Patrick Files. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening to you. Karen Phillips, faithful as she is. Hi, Jack and family. Hello. Michael Hembry. How's everyone? Donna. Love your ashes, Jack. Well, he didn't make the perfect cross. I mean, Brett Baer had a perfect cross on air tonight, and so did Harold Ford, my favorite Democrat. You know, they both had perfect crosses. I don't know if they whispered, I'm going on TV, right? So make this good. But it was perfect. But yeah, I'm very happy to have it. It means marked for Christ. That's all it means, marked for Christ. You're letting people know you made a decision for Christ. Um, Miles Wright, real estate executor. No, I'm not saying that right. I just have trouble identifying your profession, Miles. So I'm going to have to accompany you on your next estate. Hi, Jack and everyone. Welcome. How's Judy doing? Jennifer Grimes, who did not sing It's the Right Time of the Night for Making Love. I don't think that was you, right? Um, Hi, Jack. Elaine Peterson is here. I see you already there. Hello, Elaine. Never been to Spain, but she does kind of like Taylor Swift. So I'm told. Not really. Neo Neon is here, looking kind of ashy, Jack. You mean my complexion? Oh dear, I hope I'm not catching cold. I hope I'm not catching cold, Neo Neon. Oh dear, if I start to look green, that may be normal to you, Neon, but tell me about it anyway, okay? Helen McDonald from Australia. Hi, Jack, and all from Australia. Still hot, is it? Tammy with an eye, one of our most faithful tier one supporters there. Hello, everyone. Just got home from work. That's right. didn't get to see the earlier video. Well, there's plenty of time. It's a pre-recorded, and I'll give you the analytics. They're pretty good in just a little bit. It is probably my number one video already. Um, Nancy and in memoriam Terry Whitmore is here. Hello, hello. Um, Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. Hi, Jack and all. Good to see you, Marianne. What's been going on? How's your health? How's your health? Are you doing good with the walking and stuff? Jupiter's realm. That's Andrea, right? Hello, Jack and everyone. She is in another realm. It's in parallel time, where everything is similar to another time band, but they made different choices here. So in the last realm, Jupiter was Queen of Sheba. I think you're a queen, right? Yes. Uh, this time she works at the IRS and nobody likes her. Oh, that's terrible. That's why you don't tell anybody where you work, right? I see. And my curtains, huh? It's a blanket and a love bag from ShopRite. Yeah. It doesn't match what I'm wearing, but I can't be perfect all the time. I just didn't have time to think about that. I would have put the black and white checkered on probably again, but you've seen that one lately. Let's see. Helen McDonald, yes, and Barbara Konerman. Konerman. Hi, everyone. Beautiful day here in Missouri. About 70? Really, Barbara? See, I'm not saying Barbara like everybody else does. Barbara? 70 in Missouri. I wonder what it is here. It says feels colder. That's all I see when I look at the bottom of the screen. Let's get our temp here. 34, 34, a little bit above freezing. A little bit above freezing. So it's going to get chilly again by Tuesday, maybe Monday night or Tuesday at night. But, I actually sat in the gazebo. It was 50 degrees. I sat in the gazebo for about 20 minutes just to say I'd done it. And I listened to a little of the Jimmy Sturr Saturday Night Polka Party in the archives of the Polka Jammer Network. Poker Jammer Network. He made me laugh because I'm pretty sure he was going to play this song called Polka in the Rear. And he's the polka king. But he didn't quite say polka correctly. It was more like something you'd see at a casino. You got it now? Okay, good. Robin Roman joins us. Hi, Jack and family. 53 already that I know of. I thought it was going to be the Dougster, which I like, but no, it's Doug Usar. Hi, Doug. I know somebody named Doug. His last name is Abramson, though. He's one of my buddies from the McDonald's days and still is. We went to his 70th birthday party. He's a little older than me. We went to his 70th birthday party this past summer with a vegan spread. It was good. I have to say, they put so much work into it. Nothing wrong with having some lovely vegetables and different things. The only thing they had that was outside the vegan realm was they had milk to put in your coffee or tea. And they wrote, cow's milk on there because I think they're under the impression that people would be offended, so they wanted to let you know they were going to bow that much. Oh, they had a whole lot of beer and stuff, though. I was surprised. I don't like beer and I don't really like wine. I spent a lifetime trying to tell myself I like wine, but ain't nothing like a frozen margarita. Ain't nothing like that. Ain't not like a slow gin fizz if your bartender's old enough to know how to make it, or a vodka sour, perhaps. And keep in mind, I do this a half a dozen times a year, one drink. So it's never been a problem for me. Don't drink around people that do have a problem with it. Okay? Don't do that. That's not good. Don't do it around kids either, really. No. Faith Lloyd from Lloyd's Supermarket, the legendary Lloyd's Supermarket here in the Hudson Valley. There were 3 locations, actually. and they're all gone. But before there was Walmart here in this region, there was Lloyd's. Ed Lloyd. He finally closed the last store. I don't know what year it was. There's a big plaque, a sign, and a plaque that holds up the plaque um, on the property now. ShopRite is there, whole new building, of course. And uh, I think, say he closed the store on a Sunday, he died on a Tuesday. The 2 days later, it was too much for Ed to take. They don't make him like Ed Lloyd anymore. Todd Bradshaw, they also don't make him like Todd Bradshaw anymore. They threw away the mold. Mold, but not as in moldy. You're not moldy, not yet. Not yet. Hello, Jack. Good evening, all. Welcome, Todd. Not Mould, not MOLD, right? I am the morning DJ at WWRL. What is it? WL. I hate when I can't. It's the second Harry Chapin song, the follow up to Taxi. I am the morning DJ at WOLD, playing all the 45s, going on 16. I don't know if that meant his age or that he was playing the number 16 song in the survey. I never knew that. I never got it, Todd. Robin Roman saying hello to Elaine. Weird Al had Polka. You know he did. Your Polka Your Eyes Out on an album. Really, that was the title? Yeah, because he did at least, I don't know if it was a complete album, but before there was Jimmy as the Polka King, and there are of course polka people that would say others were the Polka King. Before there was Jimmy, there was Weird Al Yankovic's non-relative Frankie Yankovic, and they weren't related in any way, but he did an album with Frankie Yankovic before he passed away. He'll be at Bethel Woods this summer, I believe, Weird Al. And so will Toto with Christopher Cross and the Romantics. That sounds like a pretty good show. I'm not that excited about Toto, but the Romantics, Talking in Your Sleep, and that other one that I like even better. What's the other romantic song? I'll think about it and still not get it. Jack, I got a question. Since you live in New York, what happened to Studio 54 building? Interesting you should say that. That was the good old days. Yeah, it has been used for somebody did a play there recently in the old Studio 54 building. It's still standing. If Karen were watching, she would know, but she went there because her cousin Bobby Reed. Go to bobbyreed.com. That's Bobby with a Y, bobbyreed.com, and you'll see his website and all the things he's done. He's got extensive reels of what he's done, and he was on Perry Mason. He played the juror. This is on the HBO series of Perry Mason. Last thing, he played the juror that got paid to vote a certain way. He got paid. He had some lines. Yeah, he doesn't always get lines, but he did that time. So Bobby was doing plays in New York and had certain connections. And I think he knew the playwright Michael Musto. Some of you might know that name, Michael Musto, very flamboyant man. And through Michael, Bobby was able to get into Studio 54 and bring Karen with him. This goes back into the 70s. And so she was at Studio 54. I never got to see it. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know nobody, you know. Bayou Girl saying hello to Elaine. Hey, here's Fancy Nancy DeMarco saying hello to Robin Roman and Bayou Girl and Elaine. And that's about it. She's got nobody else to say hello to. Spencer for Hire is here. Glad to be here. I'm glad you are. I forget where you're from, Spencer for Hire. I don't know if you're T. Spencer, but I think you are. Doing pretty well, Elaine, says Todd Bradshaw. Thank you. Busy days. I'm still upright. That's good, right? I mean, everybody wants to die. Let's face everybody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, right, Todd? But nobody wants to die to get there. I'm patient. I'll wait for the rapture. I mean, I imagine, but by then the world will look something like Back to the Future 2.0. I mean, you don't leave your house without your AK-47 by the time things are finished, by the time, the kids get through. Um, yeah, it's still standing. Dark Shadows isn't, though, at the corner of 53rd and 8th. They took that down. That's such a shame, you know? Um, it's a travesty. Toto, Hosanna, Africa, I'll be over you. I'll be over you. Not that song. They don't excite me, but when songs came on the radio, they were pleasant. They were pleasant to listen to. Hold the Line would be their rockin' song, and I like that one the most. I like that one the most. Christari's here, huh, Robin Roman? We've been talking a little bit. She gave me her detailed reports. How are you feeling? Continued prayers. I didn't see you come in, Christari. 54 watching that I know of. And you're in North Carolina, Spencer for Hire. That's right. And yeah, I think I've covered just about everybody. If not, say something else. Say something else. So, got some tea. It's getting colder by the minute. Still enjoyable though. Tetley British blend, round bag, no string, nothing like that. And you get 80, you don't get 100, you get 80. And then you put in a little bit of the 2% organic milk, which stays fresher a lot longer than the other milk, we notice. And then just a dash of half and half. Oh, dear. Oh. I don't want to get obsessed with my drink because that is what somebody else would do. I'm here for you, not the drink. you know. But this is more relaxed. The codes of good broadcasting are just different here. It's not that they don't exist; they're just different. We're chatty, we're relaxed. You can tell me how to make your favorite soup if you want to. Um, My favorite to make is cream of chicken. I open up that Campbell's soup can. I put in 2% organic milk to fill up the can. Never water. Never. Ugh. And then I stir it up there. I have to flatten out all the, contents. And I'll tell you, it makes a fine meal in itself, Lori Merrick. It makes a fine meal in itself. Nice to see everyone. So nice to see you. Oh, you have a pretty smile tonight. A pretty smile. Your last video caused me anxiety. So, Nancy, you are asking for medication. I can't do it. I can't do it. I got plenty, but I can't share that. So you better smoke a doobie. Where are you? New York or New Jersey? No, you're in Oklahoma. What the heck am I saying? It's probably not legal there, right? So don't smoke a doobie. It would be wrong. Can you get it on medicinal purposes only basis? Maybe. I don't know. Huh. Yeah. Well, we'll get through this. We'll get through this. I'm going to look at it right now. Tulsa, no meds. No meds at all, huh? No doctors, right? They all say, I didn't go to medical school for 8 years to practice here. No, there's some beautiful places. Um, I can't drink green tea because one time I saw Michael, ABC News radio news led with a new study that said, and I never forgot it, green tea can lower the effectiveness of your blood pressure medicine. And ever since that day, I thought, oh, I won't touch green tea. Karen does from time to time. Tess J, hey guys, hope everyone is doing well. Well, thank you, Tess. It's been a while since we've seen you. So welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You too, Patrick Phyllis, from the great state of uh, Kentucky. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody tell me nothing. Are you a good boy? I don't know. You from a good family? I don't know. Nobody tell me nothing. Nobody tell me nothing. Let's see here. Okay, our new video that is giving Nancy DeMarco anxiety. Coming in over, we released it around what? I was just trying to get to the foot doctor, so I got it out about 10 minutes to 4, and then I had to dash out the door to go see Dr. Ofskovsky, who always seems to have paint on his pants. I don't know what that is, but it's like he's got these drips of wet paint. Is he a painter too? I don't know. I told him about the channel he could conceivably be watching tonight. Probably not, but he could be. Um, he's a nice man, and I told him about the channel and everything, and he looked at Bob Joyce pictures, said, it doesn't look like Elvis to me. I said, well, I know which camp to put you in then. Views are up 38% on our new video. More subscribers are choosing to watch this video, and they're watching longer than usual, helping to increase its reach on YouTube recommendations. Thank you for that. It's gotten us a couple more subscribers. 225 people have watched it in the last 60 minutes. In the last 60 minutes. Tick tock, tick tock. So it's called Bob Joyce Church Under Fire. Well, I didn't start the fire, Nancy. I didn't. I'm just reporting on it. And then there's our show right now, reaction to the Bob Joyce controversy created by others, not Pastor Bob, created by others. So, you know who to blame, Nancy. I feel exactly the same way about Pastor Bob Joyce as I felt about a month ago. I think he's a wonderful man of God. Does there need to be some clarity in some issues? Sure, sure. But I believe the man is spirit-filled and preaching better than ever, ever. So you see what I say in that video. Bum, ba, 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 bum. Let's see here. Comments. First of all, thank you, Belinda Taylor, for hitting the thanks button for $10 in this video. Thank you. Very, very good. And Jackie Organ checked in. These are public comments, so I can say them, I guess. Hi, Jack. This is interesting information from LWC Media. Over the past 60 days, Bob Joyce Music has over 20. This blew me away, Renee. Over 26 million views across our social media sites. I think Pastor Bob is going to be all right. I think he will be still standing after the George Magazine controversy ends. I think he's got it in the bag. Has over 26 million views across our social media sites. Thank you all who are supporting him and his music. There's so much more to come this year. Well, very, very good. Thank you, Jackie Organ, for passing that on. Deborah LaValle. Well, that's a nice name. You amaze me with your comments. Is this really Karen? No, you amaze me with your comments and use care with your words. I try to. I sometimes miss the mark like everybody else does, but I try to. I mean, for example, in the first video that I did at 2:00 in the morning, which I couldn't even load, and I was already feeling conviction that a couple of things in there are not good. I took a couple of swipes, shouldn't have done that. So I couldn't load it, and I gave up on it, and then by this morning, I knew I had to re-record. I knew I had to re-record. So, I think that was the Lord telling me, "No, it's not right. Do it again." You amaze me with your comments and, use care with your words. I'm so glad that I found your channel. Well, we're glad to have you, Deborah LaValle. God bless you. I'm tired of careless videos with so many lies about Elvis. Who's he? You mean Elvis Costello? Eh, every day I write the book. It didn't exactly blow me away, that song, you know? Every day now, every day I write the book. One hit and that's it, forget it. You know, if you're only gonna have one hit, make it Afternoon Delight by the Starland Vocal Band. God bless you. I'm tired of careless videos with so many lies about Elvis, whether Elvis is alive or not. Either way, he deserves respect, not the opposite. Ian Cameron. Oh boy, that's an author's name or a broadcast name. Let's see here. Oh, he's talking about that suit that Gene Ho had done a column on, I believe, talking about that if someone were to come back from the dead, you couldn't sue them, you know, and that Trump might enact a law. Well, he can only do so much, you know. He will get challenged, whatever he does, by a judge, Judge Bozeman, probably. So, you know, you never know. Um, but I did hear about that, Ian Miller. Eon Miller. Eon, that's what Gus said from Big Fat Greek Wedding. June Joyner, hey Jack, I have to watch the replay. That's okay, June. Hi on the replay. I might get to join later. June Joyner may join later. Yeah. But I'm going to an IMAX theater tonight to see Epic. Karen has talked about that, the new documentary that Baz, whoever Baz is, but Karen's talked about him too, has made with some on-aired footage from when Elvis made That's the Way It Is. That's the way it is. And Elvis on tour. So that's worth seeing. Yeah. Thanks for just chilling with us and talking about things. Your company is appreciated. Well, thank you, Belinda Taylor. Kitty Hewitt. I can grant you Pastor Bob is a spirit-filled man. I agree with that. Gene, in my opinion, shouldn't have gotten on the internet and tried to bring more hurt towards Pastor Bob. As far as Blaze, he creeps me out. So that's the opinion of Kitty Hewitt. But she does pray God keeps Pastor Bob as he sings. He's got to keep on going for our Lord. God will work it out. From Kitty. Hi, Deborah McGinty, Gloria Harlow Drummond from the Jesus is the Answer channel. Great video, Jack. As always, God will work it out. Yes, the three guys should sit down together and talk. Pray. Blessings and love to you and Karen. Days of Elijah had a, I don't know if I want to read that one on the air. Sometimes I keep posts and sometimes I don't. I haven't decided to take any down yet. Um, Talking a little bit about Gene Ho. Well, Gene Ho knows that when he comes on to do a video, you know, a short video from wherever he's at, he's got to be entertaining, you know. So you always have to keep that in mind. He is capable of being very entertaining. He's got broadcast quality talent, and not everybody does. Not everybody does. Some were sent, and some just went. So I always take that into account. So if he goes a little wild, I understand what he's doing because nobody likes dull. Nobody likes dull. Um, Bet says, Betty, uh, Jack, por favor, pour some cologne on your head or something like that. Okay, I'll translate to English. See, here I was at these Latino mass, and I thought, well, there'll probably be a few other people like myself that couldn't get here until now. Um, and maybe during the homily, he'll say a few words in English. I'll say the same word that is Spanish for what it turned out to be. No, no. Por favor, senor. Me amo Juan, but that's about all I know. Como está usted? So, Jack, please add subtitles. Sometimes they appear and sometimes they don't. Can you guys add subtitles yourself? Because, um, I don't know how to do that, but I have seen some of it. Um, can you add the subtitles, Neo? I'm talking to you or somebody else. You make me smile. Yes, he may not be Elvis, says the Speedy Spy. Hmm. Man, I missed a lot. See you tonight, Jack. And she's here. Jupiter's Realm is here. Katina Team SWAT checked in. Well, none of us attend are members of the church. We know how it was addressed. He may have privately talked about it. Exactly. We don't know what's going on. We really don't have an idea. We need to continue praying about it uh, and keep everyone, Pastor Gene, and the church in prayer. I'll see you tonight. Well, okay, Katina. Andre Womb. The police should be the ones to break the story. Well, you're referring to the member of the band, was a member of the band who everybody loved, and he did not play the guitar. And what happened? I don't think it was Chris Hansen, but I don't know. It's that kind of an operation he got caught in, soliciting the affection of a 14-year-old girl. But that happened far, far, far away from the church, and then they heard about it. How does that fall on Pastor Bob? And to point that out, like, well, there's just another sign the shepherd ain't doing his job. That P owes me. Does that make sense? That's that. Um, it's nothing to do with Pastor Bob. He's not a psychic medium that can turn to somebody in the band and say, "I know what you're doing." Now, if stuff is brought to him, that's a different story. But that wasn't this. This guy was beloved, and you know, gave no clue. He had no prior record either. No prior record. So no way does it fall on Pastor Bob that this guy somewhere far from the church, maybe traveling for a gig, I don't know, uh, got caught in a sting. It's not Pastor Bob's fault and shouldn't be in any way brought up in the same conversation. Phil Fox, it was not the guitar player. Matt and everyone needs to get their facts straight before opening their pie holes in public and slandering the wrong person. Slander is a crime. Uh, Nancy Whitmore, hi Jack, hope to catch you later. And you did. You did. And I think we got most of it there. So the video continues to grow, and I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Um, Another video that we had to put up again for context is Bob Joyce controversy, Honest Talk. That contains the first Gene Ho statement on open video to Pastor Bob Joyce that started off the whole shebang. And then in the comment section, that's where Dave Blaze commented. I'm honored that he picked me, to be honest with you. I have that much vanity. Bob Joyce, Church Under Fire, has got 1K now, but it's got a lot more than that. They're always behind in the regular count. They catch up eventually, say. Two Bob Joyces finally caught together has got 4,600. What do you think about that? Have you seen two Bob Joyces finally caught together? This is footage, I think, around the scene of where Nicolas Cage shot a scene from Best Pancakes in the County in Arkansas and supposedly at Sabrina's house. That was verified by an inside source, too. Dave Blaze came on and said, Nick Cage, and it's never with a K, Nick Cage or Nicholas, he might have said that, did not shoot uh, uh, part of a movie at Sabrina's house. Ridiculous. Then a confirming source that would definitely know came on and said, "Oh, yes, he did. Oh, yes, he did. Why would he do that? Why would you think Nicolas Cage won an Academy Award? He's done more movies than, oh, I don't know, Armand Asante. Got more money for him, though. Believe me, Armand Asante, who lives in Campbell Hall, New York, not far from me at all. My first wife saw him at the gas station in Goshen and knew his name, which always makes an actor happy. This is years ago, of course. And, he did the Mambo Kings, he did John Gotti and what have you, but it's hard to keep it going forever. And then he had bankruptcy problems with the ranch and all the property. They let him keep the house, but not the property. And, I think he still he takes what he can get. A lot of people want Armand Asante in their movie, but not a lot of people that do have a lot of money. Have a lot of money. So think about this. Talk about a lot of money. Let me go. Where am I? No, I'll go back to my stream for now. My stream, and then we'll check email in just a minute. Uh-oh. Where's my stream? Don't tell me there it is. I got us scared. But look, I come back and here's Miles Wright's significant other. I believe that's right? Judy Wright, right? Judy Wright, but with a W in front of the right, hit the thanks button for $9.99. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that very much. We're already up to the 18th of February. It's a short month and we're way behind. So whether it's $9.99 or $1.99 or less or more, people that have been watching me for a long time will be a great month. I think we're going to be all right for tax time. I'm very happy about that. So you can rest assured that the tips that you sent in, right here on the live stream or occasionally in the pre-recorded videos, that they did not hurt me at all. In other words, they're not half of them. Half of what you send is not getting taken by the IRS. That's how low my income is. Kind of tells you something, doesn't it? But no, I'm getting a refund, I believe. That's what my great tax preparer, Anna, told me from Hudson Valley Tax Services. And a lot of it has to do with my favorite president, Donald John Trump, and the big, beautiful bill. So I hope everybody's paying attention to all the benefits. Maybe beef is not as low as it could be yet. He'll get to it. He's trying hard every day. Jody Smith, beautiful turquoise, $2. Thank you, Jody. Are you just home from work or is it your night off? So we got Judy Wright and we got Jody Smith. This thanks button should be right down there at the bottom of the screen. You need a credit card, I guess, for that. And then there's Cash App, which is a great way to give as well. And my Cash App handle, I'll write right here. Oh boy, I took Saturday off. I just needed the rest. I should have said something about it. Somebody in the inner circle thought I might be in trouble. Think I'm in trouble. Well, if this were the 70s, I'm probably looking to get in trouble in a limited way, of course. I'm not stupid. I don't want to end up, with a cellmate named Bruno or Bubba. Media Guy 56 is my Cash App handle. And so I had to give her so much, I had to give her the Cash App month by month. They don't do a yearly statement. So Andy had to put 12 months together of Cash App, everything that I give to this specific person who I owe, that's money going out to them. And everything that you see that has been given to me for the most part was Cash App from you wonderful people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what the total for Cash App is yet. The total for YouTube, it wasn't a banner year. it was about what Candace Owens makes in a half hour to 45 minutes when she's doing a hot video, which is most of the time. But I'm not willing to do the things she does to get it. And I wouldn't be successful at it anyway. Who am I kidding? She's got a team too, a small team, but a team. I don't know what happened to her. I just don't know. So thank you, Robin Roman. If Pastor Bob has a body double or more, he does. I wouldn't blame him one bit. Anyone in his position probably would too. Um, I, for one, might too. Now, what are we talking about here? What might he do, Robin Roman? You mean just take the train to the plane and leave before he goes insane? Jody says, Jack just got home from work. She's taking what they're given because they're working for a living. Did they smell trouble? That's actually one of your better ones, Neil. I'll put that in the top 10. Yeah, what is the smell of trouble, huh? Oh, things just went through my mind that are not appropriate for Ash Wednesday, I'll tell you that. Oh dear, I never said I had reached perfection, but I sincerely am trying harder than ever to do the right thing in every way, shape, and form. Tammy Griffin, I was happy to see your first video notification. If I didn't hear from you tonight, I was going to call the coroner. I was going to reach out to make sure you guys were okay. Well, thank you. Oh, here he is, Vinny Maru. Howdy, all. Welcome back, Vinny Maru. It's so nice to see you. I'm not going to hit you with a lot of questions. I'm just going to say it's great to have you here. Don't feel the need that you have to do anything. I've been praying for you, and we hope you're doing good. How is Las Vegas, though? I always wonder how Las Vegas is doing. Yeah, Vinny. Let's see. It's a country song. Michael says, still think the 2011 photo is Elvis? Yes. Yes, I do. Because of the way he talks and the way he sings. It's uncanny, I tell you. It's uncanny. Everybody's saying hello to Vinny. Everybody. You got a fan club here, Vinny. I always said I'd love to go to Vegas, and the first person I'd look up there is Vinny Maru. I want you to be there, Vinny. I want you to be there. So all your new issues, not really mine. I don't like to do too much. If I do, it's subtle. I don't like to do too much commenting on the main competition, the number 2 guy. Yeah, I said number 2. I'm 1. Now he's got double the subscribers. So please subscribe. He's got double. He went up faster than a thin man on a seesaw. I guess I could say that instead of a fat man going down on a seesaw. Yeah, everybody does pray. I know Katina Swatsworth is praying for you. Beautiful people here. I appreciate all the prayers. Amen. Amen. I follow people on YouTube with stage 4 colon cancer, and they're in like year 4. And one of them is the lovely young lady, Sydney Towie, Towie. I think Elaine follows her now. And, oh boy, I mean, she has some good days once in a while, and she ends up at the beach or something like that. So that's really nice. If I went to Vegas, I would look up family, says Neil. Well, okay. So you have family in Vegas. I do not, but I have my good friend Mike Candido, drummer for Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, and like 3 other groups, including the Fortunes now. So if you see the Fortunes, now the only thing that could happen is if Gary had a competing gig, Gary would get preference. He would get preference. But what happens in the Happy Together tour, which comes this summer again with the Cal Sills opening again, the Trogs will be there, Gary Puckett. but also the Fortunes. Now they use one house band for everybody. The Vogues will be there, I believe. I love them. Uh, and they use one house band. But uh, so Mike doesn't get to go. There's no Union Gap on the Happy Together tour, but he will get to go this time because he's the front man. He's one of the three front men for the Fortunes. So if we go to see them, we'll see Mike and Gary. There you go. Uh, so Michael's talking about a photo. I'll leave that to him. Rough days. Sorry, haven't been much online. Um, all kinds of things I could ask you, like what the doctor says and stuff, but that's personal. And, what you say is what you want to say. Was near the Strip in Vegas. I bet you were, Neil, but you kept your clothes on and everybody was, much obliged. Much obliged. Donna is saying hi. I have a friend with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. Yeah, I follow some people that have that. They gave her 6 months. It's now been 2 years. Oh, because there's so many treatments now, and she's doing well. We believe in the power of prayer. Well, there it is. Hello, Donna. Shouldn't it be Oh, Donna, Vinny? Oh, Donna. Oh, Donna. Cold here in Vegas because it's nighttime, right? It gets cold in the desert sometimes. I know it's been getting cold in Arizona. Boy, that was weird, to come to find this story is so strange. In 2024, Savannah, maybe with one of her siblings, so strange. In 2024, Savannah, maybe with one of her siblings, wrote a book on kidnapping. It was supposed to be a comedic book about um, them staging a kidnapping, but they were really going to grandma's house, And you hear Savannah, she did the audiobook talking about this kidnapping. If it doesn't get stranger than that, well, it does, but that was pretty strange. That was pretty strange. So they're not saying Savannah's the kidnapper. They're saying that could have put an idea in someone's head. That and that piece on the Today Show showing the inside of Nancy's home, which is so beautiful. Outside, it don't look like much. Nice pool. And of course, if you're having a kidnapping, you don't want to cancel the pool guy coming to clean the pool, right? Because everybody's going to want to go for a swim with the helicopters hovering. What the hell is that? I don't know. This story is bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. Happy birthday, Patrick. Which one is that? Wilburn or Phyllis? Which one? I missed it. Jack, 70 degrees in Missouri, where I'm at. Yeah, somebody else said that. So we have two people here from Missouri, and you have, oh, I didn't even hit my Cash App. There's my Cash App. If anybody would like to hit it, I'd really appreciate it. Which Patrick now? Wilburn? Good evening, everyone. Peace and love. I had a birthday yesterday. I'm now 54. Oh, a youngin'. A kid. What are you, Generation Z or something? Spend all your day playing video games? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 54th birthday, dear Patrick. Happy birthday to you, and many, 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 many more. Even though by the time you're 84, it's going to feel like you're in Vietnam in 1967. So be prepared. Take a firearms course. You're going to need it. Okay? I'm just warning you. My hubby's birthday today. What's his name? Chris Starry. That's just one of her many names. What's his name? Hobdob is here. Heard that. So weird. You're talking about the Savannah Guthrie thing? Yeah, it is so weird. And to hear her, very skilled voice reading it was even weirder. Even now. And now they're saying they don't think she's in Mexico. So I don't know. Good evening, everyone. Peace Peace and love to all. I had a birthday yesterday. Yes, that's what he said, 54. I don't even remember that year. 19, what would it have been now? Somebody else do the math. I'm thinking 38, 48, 58. I don't know. I was born in 56, so you do the math. Um, yeah, I don't remember. I couldn't tell you anything about specifically about what I did in 19 when I turned 54, I'm trying to say. Now, in terms of certain years, they stick out, like 1977 sticks out, got my start in radio. 1974 sticks out, worked at McDonald's Friday through Sunday evening, then went back up to Hartford, Connecticut, Sunday night late to the YMCA, where I had a room for 7 days, and went back to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I did that. And then finally, in 1977, after being in broadcast school in 74, I got my first job in radio. California fever was always pulling me in that direction, and I couldn't, a newbie, you think going to hire me at KOJ in Los Angeles, you know? Tests, prayers to all who are suffering the troubles of this world. Eyes on the future, where all that will be no more. Yes. Thank you, Tess J. Tess and J, or whatever. So let's see here. Yeah, 70 degrees. I can't wait for 70 degrees. I have to keep telling myself the spring around here is phenomenal. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Who's Generation X? Neocon? We have 80 watching right now. Thank you very much to Worldwide Ramblings for a Wednesday. I'm expecting someone to come on and yell at me. Hasn't happened yet. No, he'll do it in a video. Of course, I'm a creator too. I would do the same thing, probably. It depends. It depends. And I don't wear them yet. I do not wear the pens yet. You know? No, I'm not there yet. As Keith Richards told Howard Stern. He's a great guest, Keith Richards, when he shows up in the Howard Stern studio. He says, at this point, I'm just waiting for the diapers. I'm just waiting for the diapers. Pam Dunley is not waiting for the diapers. He didn't have any choice but to go on the internet because nobody was listening to him at the church. Okay, Pam, so we'll put you in the Gene Ho category. And that's fine. You know, not everybody has to have the same opinion. It's not a Stepford community, you know. The first Stepford Wives was better than the second, I think. The first Stepford Wives was better, but I can't think of who were the people in the first Stepford Wives. Who played the Nicole Kidman role, for example? Okay, so yeah. What else? The urge to sing The Lion Sleeps Tonight is just a whim away. Well, I can't sing it, that's for sure, but I certainly have met and been in a photo. I'll have to find my Jay Siegel photo. Yeah. He was nice enough to take a photo with me. He did the Summerfest. Was it last year or the year before? Summerfest 2025. No, 2024. Unless it was Onion Fest. I think it was Summerfest. Jay Siegel's Tokens with Jay in the lead, 80-some years old, and he can still hit those notes. And he's a friend of Jimmy Sturr. He goes over to his house for dinner with his girl. I think he lives here in the tri-state area somewhere. But they're still out there touring, cruises and everything. So he's great. Real nice man. So I walked up to him, you know. I'm not going to say anything about The Lion Sleeps Tonight, but A Lover's Concerto. Is that the one by the Tokens? A favorite song of mine. And I mentioned that to him, and he said, well, maybe we'll do that tonight. Actually, when we walked in, we were early. He was rehearsing that song. He was rehearsing that in sound check. Here's Homer under the name Eagle. Eagle is the other name for the blue whale in Dark Shadows. You knew I wasn't going to go a whole show and not mention Dark Shadows. For goodness sakes, I got Jonathan Frid up on the roof with Miss Nancy Barrett, now in Phoenix, Arizona, and the late great Joe Crothers, the late great Jonathan Frid. Joe Crothers ended his he stayed with the soaps. He went out to California and did Santa Barbara, bought a house near Catherine Lee Scott, who played Maggie Evans, and then passed away not long after that purchase. That was tough. From the big A, unfortunate. They didn't have drug cocktails back then. Put a headpiece, put on a headpiece and some ash right below your lip, Jack, and you'll look like Padima in Star Wars. See, I'm not a Star Wars person, and you are telling me the name Padima for the first time. If you would have mentioned a Wookiee or Harrison Ford's character, what was that again? Or Darth Vader. There's a guy at Brother Bruno's named Luke. He's a tall guy. And I walked up to him, looked him in the eyes. He's probably heard this before. I said, Luke, I am your father. I know it's a complete disappointment. Huh. So you're a big Star Wars fan, huh? I boy, that Mark Hamill, what the hell happened to him? I don't know. He's in the crazy go nuts crowd, in my humble opinion. Now, I saw him in a number of movies, though. I think he was in The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. I think he played a cop in The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia with Christy McNichol and Mr. Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid, who was, in love with Christy. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Well, yeah, you would know all about this, Neo. Padme looks like the Queen. Oh my goodness. Amandala, LOL. You gotta know the movie to find to get the humor there, because I'm more lost than Sarah Palin at a spelling bee. Robin Roman, Padima in Star Wars. Yeah, you know it. I don't. This was never my cup of tea, but I did see a little, and I thought it was very well done. I'll say that. I did see a little. Jack, with all the nice weather we've been having in Missouri, I think we're in for an extremely early spring. I want an early spring too, Jody Smith. We got socked here in January. It drove me into a deep depression for a few minutes. Well, there were times, but I pulled myself out and I looked around and I said, I got some blessings here. And I still feel that way. I don't even begin testing on my condition that I may have or may not have, because if Dr. Kapai, my 84-year-old physician, knew what the heck I was talking about, and I'm still not sure, he said I don't have it. So we'll see. We'll see. Pronounced Padme. Really? And so tell me a little bit about that character. What was their role in the film? Were they human, or were they something like a Wookiee? Homer says, got up to 67 today, 75 tomorrow, 78 Friday, then downhill. Yeah, you go downhill and we go downhill, Homer Eagle. Homer Overcash Eagle, also known as the Blue Whale. Not you, but the bar. Here is another Rita, not lovely Rita Maid, but Rita Tanner, Biff Tanner's sister. What does the mark on your head represent, Jack? It's Ash Wednesday in the Catholic Church. I guess the Episcopalians. Hold on a second. I may need a cough drop. It simply, it's the start of Lent. It means you are identifying yourself as marked for Christ. Marked for Christ. I got it so late, though. I got it at 8:00 tonight, as I then just went right out the right door because I had to get here, and I was able to get out of the parking lot. There had to be 350 Latinos there. It was Spanish mass. I didn't understand a word. I kind of knew how to respond in English at certain points, of course. I would have loved to have heard the sermon. The Spanish pastor, I think he might be from the Dominican Republic or something. He said that in English at an English mass. Um, he preached it so passionately. I thought, wow, I wish he'd say a few things in English because I'm missing out here. You know, the main pastor, who's as white as white bread, speaks fluent Spanish and can do the whole thing. But his homilies are kind of short, and Father Dennis, and but he does what he can do. He's young still, but man, it's time for think about your health, Father Dennis. They got shots for your condition now. I'm taking them, but you don't take them forever. You don't take Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy forever. It'll mess with your muscle mass. So you get on them, you lose the weight, and then once you lose the weight, you say, "I can do this without it. I'm not gonna go and mess it all up. I'm not gonna do that." And to make it better, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna do a lot of moving. I'm going to do a lot of moving. I'm not going to put the weight back on. I can't be that helpless, uh, you know, uh, just weak individual. No. So that's how you do it. So Father Dennis needs what Trump would so eloquently say, the fat shot, the fat shot. Huh. Let me see here. I did hear from a source. I'm not going to read it live. I did hear from an inside source. Ooh, look at this on the Cash App. My goodness. I love to see multiple numbers. Elaine Peterson hits the Cash App. Thank you, Elaine. You do that every Worldwide Ramblings, to be honest, and you are a blessing to me. You're part of the core people that hold me up. We need a few more of you, to be honest. But because I'm going to be going out to see my son in Texas soon, um, no later than April, but maybe late March. I got to think about being back by the 11th of April, so sometime in March probably. And if my son has his new apartment furnished, oops, I wasn't supposed to say that, but he gonna buy me a hide a bed. Yeah, baby. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my son. And how am I going to get there? Do I fly? Got to get a star on my license to do that. Someone said they charge a big fine if you don't have that star. They'll let you fly, but they charge you a fine. Thank you, Elaine Peterson, so much. You do it every show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That brings us to Nanette. I'll just say the first name. No, not Nanette Fabre. I don't think she's with us anymore. By the way, I was sure if someone would have said, for $10,000, is George Will alive or dead? You got to get this right. I would have said dead. And I tuned in the other day, recent YouTube video, and there's George Will. Am I in parallel time? He's 84 years old, doesn't do much media. I would have seen him, but he still writes. And I don't, not a big print person anymore. I'll look at the pictures in the New York Post, but it's so Nanette, thank you so much. Missed you. I missed you too for more reasons than one, but I'm just glad that you're part of the Worldwide Ramblings family. If you never gave me another dime, I'm thankful for everyone here. Some people can't give, and I understand that. Um, Tim, I won't give you your last name. You can do it. I think you're here. Also hit the Cash App, $10. Thank you. And Tammy Griffin, that's Tammy with an I, very faithful, $25 on the Cash App. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a friend. You're a friend whether or not you give or can afford to give, It's just a tip jar. It's just a tip jar. Okay, Michael, I see Michael Hembry sent a picture. I never know what it's going to be. Interesting. Who's that with him there, Michael? From here, I'm not even sure if it's the Bob Joyce because there's so many doubles. There's so many doubles, including Robert Wayne Joyce, who, oh, that's a beautiful area. Beautiful area. Where's me phone? So that's worth a picture on air. I don't know how it'll look, but you did give me a beautiful picture. Let's see here. I don't know. This the thing about Pastor Bob Joyce is he's a chameleon. He's a chameleon. So I'll show that in a second. Very nice, Michael. Where is that? Tell me some more about it. Um, Teresa checked in. Let's see what the thumbnail is. Oh, boy, you look like somebody, Teresa. I won't say your last name. You look like somebody. Who do you look like? Very nice picture. Pastor Bob is looking great. Nobody gets to demand how pastor responds. A pastor is required to look into the matter, talk to those that are being accused, and then take it to the elders and take it to the prayer closet and see what the Lord would have him do. Just because someone accuses Pastor Bob Joyce of something does not make their perception right, especially with what an inside source said. Um, but I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that. You can read it all in the comments of the Honest Talk video, and you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Let's see here. So thank you, Teresa. Let me know if you want me to show that picture in a future show. In a future show. I am interested in what the source told me, but I cannot just spit out information. All right. This is good for the public. Just since mid-December, Pastor Bob has had over 34 million, yes, million views across the social media and website. That's a great talking point. I suppose I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. It's like it's like you know who. I won't say it because someone here will get mad at me. I don't want them mad at me. No. I want everybody to love me. That's not going to happen. Any creator, any broadcaster. Can you imagine how many people said, "I'll never listen to that Sean Hannity again"? And then when you get up to the Michael Savage, he's vicious with his viewers that disagree with him. He's vicious. So that's what we have on Cash App so far. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. And let's go back to the live stream where I can see you and see myself. So I had it sent to me. I see. Show the picture. Now he thinks he's in charge because he sent a picture. I know this guy. Here's Lynn R. Snowing in California. Well, it always does in certain parts, like above San Francisco, right? Lynn Redgrave, the late Lynn Redgrave, but death has not stopped her. She is here commenting in real time, just like Angelique would have done, and she'd say, "You think I'm dead? Feel my hand, feel the warmth." Sometimes she would lose warmth. And the only way Angelique could get, warmed up and not actually fade into oblivion is she'd have to find some poor schmo who, she's beautiful. She was beautiful, Lara Parker, or just simply Laura Parker. It's pronounced both ways. And she would have to find some guy, usually would be somebody who was not a regular cast member, the lawyer stopping by with papers, the handyman of the house, and they would be alone, and she would pretend to be interested in him, and he couldn't believe it. And she said, "Oh, I'm so cold. Come here and hold me." And the line from the guy was always the same. "I've wanted to do this since the very first time I laid eyes on you. Oh, well, kiss me." and he would kiss her, and that's the last thing he would ever do. 2 minutes later, he's lying on the floor dead, and people are touching him saying, "This guy feels like he's been dead for 3 days." At least they got some lines, and they got to kiss Lara Parker before that happened. But I digress. I digress, and sometimes when I do, it's such a mess. With the audio hum, of course, where's the audio hum? I hope I don't have a hum. Don't tell me I gotta go and order a new mic from Rode Microphones, which I would because 'cause they're fantastic in Australia, much cheaper than you would pay somewhere else. Look at how many podcasters, and I'm not a podcaster, by the way, I just do videos on YouTube. Um, Lynn is saying yes. So yeah, that's right, I was in mid, story, wasn't I, Lynn? You can see snow usually when you're in San Francisco, although I've never been there, but people tell me we were gonna go when we visited in 1998, but I think Las Vegas was chosen instead, and we all wanted to go to Vegas, of course. Um, there are parts. Now, where was the avalanche? It was in Tahoe, right? There was an avalanche in Tahoe. Tell me about that, because I've been so busy today, I didn't get time to view the news like I normally would. And of course, they're either talking about Nancy, Guthrie, or they're, you know, that was a lot of the time. And at some point, I think people have had enough. Tell us when you got a real development. When you got a real development. We want to know. We are interested, but tell us when it's a real development. Oh yeah, the picture, Michael. Yes. See. So this, I don't know. I guess this is Pastor Bob. Let me look at him closer. Who's that with him? Yeah, I guess so. Who is that with him, huh? Eh? He's going to be washed out and the other guy isn't. Oy. This is what happens when you do something live. Oh, just roll it in, for goodness sakes. One guy said, take pride in your work. Well, yes, just get me the tech team, will you? Get me the tech team. Hold it up straight. No, that doesn't do it. So I'll have to roll it in a pre-recorded video or use it as a thumbnail. I don't know. Maybe. Vinny Maru is exchanging in goods. What are we trading here? It can't be bubblegum cards. Can't be bubblegum cards. 7 passed away, 1 still missing. Oh boy. And I bet you was some young people in there too, Lenore. 7 passed away. So we're talking snow here. See, the moment I heard avalanche and I said, oh my God, it's February. What happened in Los Angeles? Because that's, the rainy season. Has it been raining in Los Angeles? I don't know. But it always was the month, February, you know. I can talk 100 miles an hour, but every once in a while I got to have a swig of tea. How you take your tea? How you take your tea? Ugh. So tomorrow Karen's getting her hair cut. Ay, ay, ay. There it is. Ads. Vinny is experiencing ads. See, when I pause, especially. Han got the short stick. I'm told Vinny that the plane, Hervé Villachez, tattoo. He didn't get the short stick. Oh dear. So I wonder if there's been any mudslides in Los Angeles. I wonder. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. You 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 should be able to carry something on your belt that would somehow, be like this powerful snowblower. There is something like that. Have you seen that ad for that new product where you can just blow the snow right off your car? It's so powerful and what have you, but that's big. It's too big to carry. We're having a stormy warning, a storming warning. I thought you meant Stormy Daniels was coming to town. Hide your sons in California. So you are in California. Okay. Well, there ain't no California where the water tastes like wine. And there ain't no California where you feel good all the time. Mel Tillis. I loved Mel Tillis. Yeah, I saw Star Wars when I was 7. I was with my parents at the drive-in theater. I'll never forget it. Good memories. Vinny Maru, it's 78.8 degrees. Well, I'm glad you got in that point 0.8 here, and the sun is hot, says Jackie Organ from Aussieland, Australia, down under. Are you really under? Are you really under? On the new Star Wars, guess it was in Harrison Ford's. On the new Star Wars, guess it was in Harrison Ford's contract that Han Solo die. It was in Carrie Fisher's contract that Ford and Hamill were in it. I would imagine Harrison always had an airtight contract, or he wouldn't have signed. But he was not quite the superstar till Star Wars, right? That made him a superstar, if I'm remembering correctly. My favorite Harrison Ford movie is What Lies Beneath with Michelle Pfeiffer. See, I can remember these things. I'm very happy with myself when I can. What Lies Beneath? That was a thriller. Good movie. Others at the theater. I'm in the middle of a conversation there. I did see the others at the theater. I did, and I saw it on probably HBO Max or something like that when we had HBO Max. Karen wants it when the Gilded Age comes around. She's got to have it then. So we get it for a number of weeks, There you go. The popcorn was better then. Real butter for one? I never experienced that, Todd. I always noticed that they called it Golden Mist. I thought I was in the 70s porn film. I don't know why I say these things. I don't know why I do. You may give me the ruler now, Jerry Bridges, because you're not really Jerry, are you? You're Mrs. Jerry Bridges. I saw Star Wars at a drive-in as well. Tess J says, yes, Todd Bradshaw, not the seed of motor sludge they call butter these days. Oh, yeah. It's below margarine, right? And they charge you such a big price for it. You think they could give you some, not only butter, but give you the good quality butter, with olive oil in it or something. Of course, Dr. Reese says olive oil's no good. He doesn't leave much that you could eat, Dr. Reese. Anybody follow him on Facebook Reels? He's not really a doctor, and he would say that, but he's a nutritionist and I think a PA. I think he's a PA, but he writes books and they sell. And he's got a good delivery. I couldn't do Dr. Reese. He's very subtle. Some people say they don't like the way I speak. But some people do. But some people do. Don't go to a GP. You'll like this, Elaine. Don't go to a GP They're just going to fill you full of pills and tests. Do you ever stop and think that these pills never cure you? Never cure you. Blood pressure medicine is for those who want to cheat on their diet for all their life and get away with it. That's why people are on blood pressure medicine, I think. I agree with Todd, says Vinny. Well, what did Todd say? Popcorn and soda. Soda, also known as liquid death, but don't we love a good Pepsi like Elvis did? More claims, more. If you look it up, more people say Pepsi was Elvis's favorite drink, and Dr. Pepper was second. Dr. Pepper was second. Some call him, you're making me think of the Steve Miller Boogie Band song. Some people call me the space cowboy. Some people call me the gangster of love. Some call him the gangster of love. Well, yeah, you're doing it. I just did it because you reminded me, and you actually are talking about the Steve Miller Boogie Band. Yeah. Buddy McDaniel, you got a birthday coming up. I saw it on my list. Your birthday is on my list, my list. It's on my list because your birthday is on my list. Well, that was awful. So I see you're coming up to a birthday. Is it a milestone, buddy? We still have a drive-in here in Atlanta. Do we have one here? Fair Oaks still a drive-in? Maybe. Open in the summer, Could be. What do you agree with, Elaine? See, there again, I'm not sure. I'm spitting out words, 100 miles an hour here. Magical times, sir, says Todd Bradshaw to Vinny. I'm with you. Sad, a lot of kids missed out on all of that these days. So many things, and they're inside, computer and texting and all kinds of video games, Grand Canyon? I'll Google it. Actually, I'm not that thrilled at the Grand Canyon. That's just me, but some people like it. Yes, they have. Wouldn't trade growing up in the 70s and 80s for any technology. They were magical years. Why didn't we buy these bell bottoms and Nehru shirts, keep them in the plastic, store them away in the cedar chest, and sell them on eBay in the 90s and 2000s? We just didn't know that eBay was coming. And we didn't know that bottled water was coming either. Not that kind of bottled water. Water's free. Why would they ever try to spring, by the way? Who knows? You ever think that you might be drinking a fish's toilet? Judy Bausch is here. Hello, all. Hi, Judy. It's been a while. Welcome back. AI is the new technology. Yeah, they're going to try to enact some law because lots of tricksters are taking people. It could be in their class or it could be a celebrity, and they're putting them up on various platforms with no clothes on with their face. So they're going to enact, Trump is going to probably sign legislation on that. Yeah, I think we have, and if I drive down, they call it J.P. Kelly Way now, County Route 78, I can still see the screen is up for the old Middletown Drive-In Theater. Yeah. The screens are in thrift stores, the big ones, and use them for digital projectors. Awful big, though. You're going to be the big 5-0. Big. That certainly is a milestone. I remember 40 more than I do 50, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear buddy from Arkansas. Happy birthday to you. And 50 more. Just make sure you have grenades on your equipment belt when it gets anywhere close to that. Let's see. I didn't care for the Disney ones. I stay away from Disney, Hulu. I don't want anything to do with them. I believe Bob Iger can cost the company, I don't know, it's over $1 billion. How many billions, I don't even know, with allowing woke Snow Whites and woke this and woke that, and still have a job. There's things I don't understand. How do you do that? How do you not make a change in the New York Yankees in management when they haven't won a pennant since 2009? I don't know. Ditto, a ditto head. Were you a ditto head, Todd? I was. I was a ditto head. The late great Rush Limbaugh. Patrick Wilburn, happy birthday to you, Buddy McDaniel. Absolutely. Absolutely. And oh, Alabama. Why do I always confuse that? The reason I did is I knew you went to the Bob Joyce concert, but you went to the one in Coleman, Alabama. Yeah, he hasn't given the Arkansas concert yet, May 24th. We haven't talked about that much. I think it's about sold out, and it's not in Little Rock, but Cabot, right? Cabot, Arkansas. Cabot, Arkansas, about 23 miles out. So you're going to have to all go in on an Uber to come in from Little Rock, I suppose. Yeah. Ads again and again and again. Too many ads. I know. I see it when I am watching myself, and I never miss me. Drive-ins were a lot cheaper for a family to see a movie than today. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Well, it's more expensive for them to get the movie, and you never know who's going to show up. So the housemaid, made internationally now, going towards 375 million, maybe going towards 400 million. The housemaid, starring Amanda Seyfried, and Sydney Sweeney, the male actor. I should look him up. He's fantastic. Oops, I saw the movie, didn't I, then, to know that? But anyway, uh, um, the budget was 35 million. So how much did they pay the two big stars there? Obviously, Sydney Sweeney is not up to 20 million a picture yet, because that would have been most of the budget. So they must have got paid. Amanda and her must have gotten the vicinity of 7 or 8 million, maybe something like that, to do the movie. Miss Sweeney has just bought a beautiful home in the Florida Keys. Well, in 2024, I saw it. It's right on the water. It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful. I'm sure she's got a security team. You'd need one for there, even though, crime happens in Florida too. So she's got that. She's got a California home. She bought her grandparents' cottage on the lake in South Dakota, which she calls Camp Runamuck. I love that. Camp Runamuck. So she's buying the Florida was 13.5 million. California was 3 million. So, it pays to do those Gene commercials, and now she's got her own line of lingerie, which Neo will be modeling. So, much more happened at the drive-in. Really, Helen? You had drive-ins in Australia? Were you there at that time? Then watching a movie. Oh, you read a book, did you? Didn't like the movie, you read a book, right? Is that what you're saying? All those fogged up windows. Who told the joke? Oh, Rodney Dangerfield said, Johnny, when I was a kid, I didn't have much much luck with the ladies. I didn't, but I fooled them. I'd go to the drive-in movie theater, get in the back seat, and do push-ups. Rodney Dangerfield. I saw that before the delete. What was deleted, Elaine, from Spain? Well, not really, but you did take the train to Maine, as far as I know. Lynn says, we had movies in the backyard. So much fun around surround sound. Oh, yes. what was that special thing they called, that would make you feel like you were actually in the picture? A Mad, Mad World in the '60s with Phil Silvers and somebody else was one of the first ones to use that. In other words, they would put a camera at the front of the roller coaster, and you would actually feel like you were taking a ride on the roller coaster as you stared, at the screen, right? So you actually would. They had a word for it, but I haven't heard that word in years, so it's not like I'm forgetting it. It's like, you know, I am forgetting it, but it's not something I would use every day. Just looking back to see if I missed any body. Vinnie Maru likes the all the Star Wars in the original trilogy. I see. And so, what did you think of Star Trek, the TV series? What did you think about that? I didn't care for the Disney ones. Hmm. They used to do some great stuff. How can you screw up Snow White? How can you allow, not having a contract, this woke actress that you hired to go around saying stuff that would cause 80 million people to stay away from your movie? She shouldn't have gotten a penny. They should have sued her for that. But you have to put it in the contract. You have to put it in the contract. Why are we talking about Foghorn Leghorn, Neil? And who did the voice? And it was a W.C. Fields impersonation, right? As I recall, it was a W.C. Fields. We fogged up the windows of my old Chevy. You weren't in your Chevy van like Sammy Johns, were you? I was willing, but she wasn't ready. I was willing, but she wasn't ready. The man is always ready. The man is always, well, it depends how old the man is, doesn't it? Alan Jackson Chattahoochee. Did he retire? Alan retired, right? He's not feeling that well, is he? I seem to remember something like that. Ha ha, I steamed up my windows in my Chevy too. Oh, really? Elaine Peterson. I wasn't doing push ups though. Oh, dear. Favorite drive in foods, huh? Um, I don't remember they had a whole lot of choices back then. Obviously the hot dogs, right? And the popcorn and the sugar daddies or sugar babies in a pouch. But I always loved Junior Mints. I assume they were around then. And that's enough of my contribution. Talk amongst yourselves. Nothing wrong with a little fog. Oh, yes. I remember that movie, Vinny the Fog, starring Adrian Barbeau's, I can't think of the word. But anyway, I have ashes on my head, and this is not a good start. That's not good. How's the music in New York? What do you mean, how's the music in New York? You have to understand, I stopped listening to music in 1988. I stopped with Billy Joel stopped. So I've heard a few tunes here and there, but back in the day, it was fantastic, fantastic. And when I lived in Los Angeles, um, in 79 and 80, I was old enough to go to any nightclub then, but it was so funny because the adult bars had to close at 2 a.m. The kiddie bars that did not serve alcohol could stay open till 4 a.m. And there were wild times going on, a lot of Donna Summer being played, that's for sure. A lot of Donna Summer. You love the movie The Fog, starring Adrienne Barbeau. How did you think she got that part? I mean, she was just on Maude, right? What motivated them to give it to her? I mean, there were a lot of actresses back then, more popular, more famous than she. She did a fine job and all that, but what was it that was, you know, what was it? No, I don't think so, Tammy. That's not the name I'm looking for this special effect that would make you feel like you were in the movie. actually in the movie, and they would, they didn't do it all the time. They had like maybe 3 parts because people were waiting for them, where you would feel like you were actually in the movie, and one of them was definitely a roller coaster. Huh. So let's talk about old movies from the '70s that we really loved and adored, huh? Anybody old enough here to remember the '70s movie? Anybody remember Michael Sarrazin? He was a big star back in the day. The reincarnation of Peter Proud. Funny, when I saw it a few years ago, found it somewhere, probably right here on YouTube, it wasn't as impactful as it was the first time I saw it. Michael Sarrazin was a fine actor, but the reincarnation of Peter Proud was definitely one of them. The strangest movie I saw in '79, still counts, was Luna, starring Joe Clayburgh. That was I'd never seen that covered on screen before. I have The Fog on VHS and DVD. One of my childhood favorites, The Thing, and the challenging, no, were also uh, classics. What was that about? The challenging. Am I saying that right? They were also, I don't remember that one. I've heard of The Thing, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it. It's probably on HBO now, if I look hard enough. Huh, interesting. Jackie, no drive-in theaters here in South Australia now, right? Shame, they were always great fun. Who remembers You'd have to be I think they were only in New York City, the Horn and Hearted, which was a cafeteria where every item you would be able to buy was behind these little glass doors, or a little bigger glass door if it was a plate of food. But the cherry pie, you put in your quarter and take out your cherry pie. Oh my God, you'd walk in there at lunchtime, and I'm telling you, with 500 people in there, it was gigantic, but there were all these windows everywhere, so people weren't waiting too long. I go in there with my mom. Maybe we're going to see a Broadway show. Maybe we're going to see a movie like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, or To Sir with Love, both starring Sidney Poitier, of course. And I remember sitting as a little boy, and Sidney Poitier came on the screen. And after a while, my mother turned to me and said, "He could put his slippers under my bed." And I almost fell out of the chair because that was an uncharacteristic comment for my mom. She'd never said that before. And it's not that she was brought up in a certain era, you know. Um, she wasn't any hardcore anything, but that's the era she was from. So I was amazed. I was amazed. Sidney Poitier caught the attention of my mom in that way. Love George C. Scott. Yeah. Of course, as General Patton, but he was phenomenal in Hardcore, right? I'm sure you saw Hardcore, where he goes, has to investigate the porn industry, all the way to the snuff film part of it, to try to find his daughter. Of course, if his daughter's in that film, he ain't gonna find her. You know. What else did I like from him? He was wonderful. Yeah, definitely major star of the '70s. But what else did he do? Don't know off the top of my head. What's Jupiter's Realm laughing about? I'm always wondering when somebody does that. Uh, from the 1950s, I lost the comment. There's 62 watching right now. I like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Don't know if I saw that all the way through. Leonard Nimoy without Spock. Oh, well, that would make me want to watch just because I found him fascinating. I even have Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo. You're making me think of the song Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant. Of Great song. Absolutely great song. Did anyone do Jiffy Pop popcorn? Yeah, we did. But would you do that on the stove, right? You put that right on the burner. You didn't put that in the microwave because we didn't have microwaves then, right? Hall. The movie is Hall is the name of the movie. One of my favorites, huh? Anybody watch the silent movies on Sunday night on TCM, Turner Classic Movies? Have anyone watch those silent films? Karen does. I've got to join her next time and enjoy one with her. Sometimes she does, and sometimes she doesn't. Huh. Did you see the movie Breakaway in the 1980s? Anybody remember that movie? Let's see, other movies from the 70s and 80s. Can you believe Richard Benjamin and Paula Prentice are still alive in their mid 90s and they still look like themselves? They still kind of look like themselves. Good genes right there. American Eagle. That's what they wear. Yeah, good genes. Richard Benjamin and Paula Prentice were major movie stars in the romantic comedy in the 1970s and beyond, and they're still alive today in love, and that's just seems to be, and that this is wonderful. The $6 Million Man, The Bionic Woman, sure, sure. I watched it. Boy, Lee Majors is kind of looking old now, and Lindsay kind of looking old too. But, they are old, so it's no surprise. Buddy McDaniel says To Kill a Mockingbird, was a great film, absolutely. But it did not do the book any justice. That's like when Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy played the Hardy Boys. I was so excited. I had all the Hardy Boy mystery stories growing up. I was an only child. I didn't have friends to really McDonald's in 1972. Oh, I had some acquaintance buddies, but I'd come home and I'd read the latest Hardy Boy mystery story my mom bought for me. I had the whole collection and the Hardy Boy Detective Handbook too. So when it came on in 77, was it? Oh, that was a big thing. That was a big thing. I couldn't wait to see it. Well, I thought both Parker Stevenson and Sean Cassidy were fantastic, but they didn't do the books any justice at all. It may not have panned out the way I thought, and the late 70s audience wouldn't have liked it. Yes, Michael, I was just thinking of that movie last week. I still love the scene and They Live with Roddy Piper. I still love the scene and They Live with Roddy Piper. I'm I'm here to kiss butt. I'm going to clean this up, Vinny, and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Now I want to see that scene. I don't even know the movie. See? Oh, let's see. Saw all those disaster films, Towering Inferno. Saw a lot of uh, um, George Kennedy, John Wayne, and stuff like that. I have the complete book collection of the Hardy Boys. Me too. Well, no, I did. I think I sold it to some used store. I wish I wouldn't have done that for not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. But I just loved, yes. Let's see. What was their name? Aunt what? It's been so long now. They lived with their auntie, but their mother was there too. And Fenton Hardy, famed detective Fenton Hardy was, see, this is a long time ago. I should be able to remember this. Fenton Hardy was their famed detective father. And then there was a girlfriend, Callie. Was Nancy Drew in there sometimes? Because she had her own mystery stories. And of course, Chet was their best buddy. He was plump. He liked to eat. He had a jalopy. I remember that, right, Vinny? Um, you haven't seen They Live? No, Let me write it down because I'll forget it. Who's in that? Mm-mm. You have some watching to do. I guess I do. A lot of TV shows that I enjoyed very much back then. The Bob Cummings Show, Father Knows Best, Lassie with Timmy, Who Hates My Guts. Can you believe this? Here we are in 2026, and Timmy, also known as John, Jon Provost, hates my guts, thinks I'm one of these MAGA crazies. Later, Jackie told me, stop trolling me. In other words, don't give your opinion on my thread because you're making me look stupid. I'm just presenting facts. So John Provost told me to take a hike. I used to watch him when I was a little boy on the couch with my mom. Little Timmy, who's 75 years old, and man, he looks good. He looks good, but he ain't got no sense. He ain't got no sense, if you ask me. Collie Shaw, right. Chet Morton, Biff. Before there was Biff Tanner, there was the Biff and the Hardy Boys, right? Biff. And boy, they were always getting hit over the head. Remember that, Vinny? These guys got hit over the head so many times, they would have had major problems later in life. I remember that. Lennar, Mad magazines were a big hit. Yeah, I was never, a real follower of them, but the covers were so good. I would pick up one and read it sometimes. I love Columbo. My son and I were talking about that just the other day on the phone. Robin Roman, it was the perfect role for Peter Falk. I suppose you could look at his other work and say it was okay, but he was made, just made to play Columbo. And the worst thing you wanted to hear from him is just one more thing. Just one more thing. He could figure it out. He could figure out this Mrs. Guthrie mystery. He could. Don't forget their boat, the Sleuth. Right. Right. I do remember that. And of course, we're talking about Bayport. Was that in Massachusetts? Bayport. Yeah. There's a house here in the city that every time I pass it, Karen must be so tired of this. I say, that's the Hardy Boy house right there. That's the Hardy Boy house. Now, I did take the Universal Studios tour in Burbank back in the day. I think I took it more than once, and you would see the front because they weren't real houses. See, Marcus Welby, MD, the Munsters, and various TV shows that you grew up with. But the creme de la creme was when the tram that I was riding pulled up to the Bates Motel, and up on the hill was the mansion, the Bates Mansion. You can't top that. You cannot top that. And I'll tell you, Psycho 2, 3, and even 4, especially 2 and 3, were fantastic. And that's where we saw what's her name for the first time, who has a sister. We saw Meg Tilly in Psycho 2, but guess who was not a fan of Meg Tilly as they started filming? Yeah, the wrong guy to piss off. So supposedly at some point, Anthony Bates walked over to the producer and you said, you got to fire her. I heard her talking smack. He didn't use that word, smack about all these Psycho fans that she encounters, on the lot and stuff like that. Oh, these Psycho fans. Well, if you don't respect this brand, if you don't know Psycho was an incredible film, and now we're trying to make another special one, and they did. He was not happy with Meg Tilly. She was wonderful, I thought, in the film, though. I thought she was exactly what she needed to be. I thought she was sexy, I'll say that, and, I thought she did a good job, but, maybe once he looked at it, he felt better. He was looking at the dailies, and you don't tick off, Anthony Perkins, you know? And Psycho 3 was fantastic as well. Did He was a better actor in from Psycho 2 and 3 and stuff he would do. They always wanted him to play the psycho guy. He got pigeonholed, but just roll with it. Just roll with it, you know? So that's what you're gonna play. People wanna see you that way. They don't wanna see you play, a serious medical doctor who's got no issues. They wanna see you play the crazy guy and the killer. So that's you. But a big fan. I don't know how many times I've seen Psycho 2, 3, and in 4 when Anthony was well progressed in AIDS. He did the narration and he did a film. A boy played, it was a prequel. He appeared and you could see he was sick. You could see he was sick in his last film. I just saw his last film about 2 months ago. They said this was Anthony's last role, and, he brought it, but you could if you were cognizant of what he was going through, you could see that he was dying, and that was his last film. Reeve was good in broadcast news. Reeve? Christopher Reeve was in broadcast news? No, that doesn't sound right. Of course, the great William Hurt was in broadcast news, and the great, one of the funniest men. Oh, give me the name. Help me here, folks. The curly hair genius that he is, Albert Brooks. I got it without looking. Albert Brooks was in broadcast news. He is the news producer who finally gets a shot anchoring, which is what he's always wanted to do, the weekend news. And they used this technology to make it look like he was literally pouring sweat on camera. Uh, and then he says, "Oh, but the viewers were nice. They thought I was having a heart attack." Albert Brooks, one of the funniest men on the planet. Come on, those Albert Brooks, Mother, the movie Mother with Albert Brooks. Oh, what's the one with the actress? They go to Las Vegas and he doesn't realize his new wife has a terrible gambling addiction. She's skinny. What the hell's her name? Um, and she blows their fortune. She blows their fortune in Las Vegas. Yeah. I love Boston Legal. Me too, Elaine. But maybe you said that because you know I would react that way, huh? Oh, man. That's where I saw James Spader for the first time, and I was blown away from, I guess he was wearing fake hair. And I'm not going to ask if you saw that naughty film with Miss Gyllenhaal, Jake's sister, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Before there was Mr. Grey with Anastasia, there was Mr. Grey with Maggie Gyllenhaal. And Maggie Gyllenhaal, who plays the submissive in the film, so she was blown away by James Spader. She said, I thought I could really show my chops here, and she did. But every time I would try something saying, "This will be good, he won't know what to do with this," he would match it. He would match it. He was that good. I didn't see much of The Blacklist or whatever they call it because it's just not my kind of thing, but I wish I had seen more. And of course, I can see more by watching it. Um, but he is the original Mr. Grey, and he was fantastic, as was, so what's his name? What is his name? The Irish chap who put on an American accent so brilliantly in those other films that I've heard about. I don't know. I think James Spader was perfect in Stargate. I'm going to write that down. Spader. How about the Videotape movie? He was pretty good in that, wasn't he? What's the exact title of the Videotape movie? Todd Bradshaw says Dallas. Oh, well, they kept my mom glued to the TV. Oh, some great acting in the TV series Dallas, including that of my Dark Shadows favorite, played Jason, and then he went on to play Paul Stoddard. Jason was played by Dennis Patrick, who was in Dallas and a whole lot of stuff. He did a even before Dark Shadows, he did a Twilight Zone. He was fantastic, and he lived to a pretty good ripe old age, home in the Hollywood Hills. He probably fell asleep with a cigarette, set him and the place on fire, and killed his dog as well. That's how Dennis Patrick left this earth. Sorry to say. Um, Vinny, you lived through the Dallas experience? Really? My wife loved Dallas. I remember the big one who shot JR craze. The big who shot JR craze. Yeah, I don't remember the details of it, but I certainly know about it. So many good actors on that show and in the spinoff as well. So Stargate, I'll remember that, Vinny. I will look that one up. I love to hear horse carriages. I like looking at restored videos of old times back in the 20s and 30s. Yeah, some of them go back even further. Like, how did they have a movie camera back then? They're all over Facebook Reels, right? And I look at them and I always like them and everything like that. But I don't know. I don't know how they got that photography then, or if I'm watching an AI fake or what. I don't know. Oh, has anyone seen William Shatner's reality show constantly around here? The Unexplained. I think you're talking about his latest one, right? The Unexplained. And he's great. You know, he's just sitting in a chair for the most part or standing up and narrating the show. He doesn't go on location. Um, but he's the announcer's announcer. He made far more money doing voiceover than he made in some of his early acting, like T.J. Hooker. You know, they weren't paying big money per se then. I didn't really watch too much T.J. Hooker, a little bit, but he has the magic voice. So he went from being homeless after playing Captain Kirk, living in his truck because his ex-wife took everything in a divorce settlement. He went from that to being a very rich man, and voiceover work had a lot to do with it. So when you see him on The Unexplained, pay careful attention to his emphasis, how he hits the words. He knows what to punch and what not to punch. He knows when to be casual, you know? Well, that's what we'll try to find out. That's what we'll try to find out. He's a gem. He's a gem in the Will Shat commercials for Kellogg's. You got to see that. Will Shat on the car. He's standing on a car, you know. Will Shat on the car. And then Will Shat appears in the living room. Older lady sitting around, and there's a cute little dog. And he looks at the dog and says, because he's doing a Kellogg's Raisin Bran commercial. He says, "Is that a Shih Tzu?" And she says, "Yeah." And the dog, I don't know if they made the dog do this in AI or whatever. He looks up like startled, you know? It's perfect. And that's what William Shatner says after the confirmation that it's a Shih Tzu dog. He says, "Perfect." He snaps his fingers and he's on to another location. But he's also doing this. I want to say it's called LifeWave, the world's oldest intern. Look up those commercials. If you can't find them just being broadcast, LifeWave. He's the world's oldest intern. He says, when I'm not telling people about their need for brand, because he's the brand ambassador for Kellogg's now, when I'm not doing that, I'm here at LifeWave. I'm the world's oldest intern. I thought I've done everything there is to do in this business, but I've never been an intern. It's hilarious. Watch it. You'll like it. Huh. I'm itchy. My nose is itchy today. Well, we're past 2 hours, gang. We're past 2 hours. Um, no, Shatner's new show. He's got an old show that they're starting to promo. You're not talking about that one, are you? Because he's still doing the Unexplained. It hasn't been canceled. In fact, they have a whole network called the Unexplained Zone. They don't just play his show, but they play others. So, no, Jack, if you're going to go the way I think it's going to go this spring and summer, Pastor Bob is going to have church at a bigger space this year because people who have been go and are not going to flock it. Jody, this is not Robin. I'm combining two things here. Let me think about that, Jody. Are you hearing in recent weeks there were not enough seats? Because that was not the case during the cold weather spell. Not Shatner's new show, but an older one, yeah. With he and his previous wife, the one that drowned in a swimming pool, in their own home with their Dobermans. No, I haven't. As they renovated their home. Pretty cool. Where would I find that, Robin? Where did you find it? Wouldn't mind watching that series again in a binge, just to catch up and relive all JR's antics. Well, he was a good actor. He was a good actor. He got to exercise his chops better than he did in I Dream of Jeannie, but he was fine in that role too as the major there. Major, was he? Or was the major his boss? I forget. I can think of the actor who played his boss in the military. So was the guy from Newhart also on that show? I'm not sure. But he was one of the highest paid actors after a while on television. In a drama, he was probably number one because, they knew they had to have JR. And so people asked him about how's your marriage doing? Mentioned his wife's name. Oh, so it's going fine. She's not stupid. She's not going anywhere now. So you think it's going to be a big year for revelations in the Bob Joyce story? Well, we'll see. We got to get past all this white noise here, all these distractions, all these distractions. Oh, I Dream of Jeannie was great. Sure. Also Bewitched. Absolutely. Watch them both. Can't say I didn't. Had a crush on really Elizabeth Montgomery of the two. I just thought, obviously, Barbara Eden was very cute and a very good actress. And who has kept a look longer than Barbara Eden, where she still kind of looks a little like Jeannie, huh? You tell me. I have Jeannie and Bewitched on DVD. Yeah. Did you like the first Darren or the second Darren on Bewitched? Did you like them both? What say you, Vinnie Maru? Good night, Bayou Girl. Thank you, Bayou Girl, for stopping by. I really appreciate you doing that very, very much. And let's see here. So we have Elaine Peterson hit the Cash App, lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. We have Tammy Griffin also hitting the Cash App. She's so faithful. Thank you. Todd Bradshaw, the Tennessee Titan for kitty treats and such. I tell you, they expect it every day, Vinny. I mean, Todd. Fraudulent slip. Yeah, they expect it all the time. I mean, I'm going to be out there at midnight and I'm going to grab the pad and heat it up for 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And they're going to expect to be fed. And they'll be walking right in front of me as I try to put it down, especially Nicholas Blair, who's all gray from Dark Shadows, because Nicholas Blair always wore an all gray suit, gray shirt, gray tie, gray hat. And one of the funny things he liked to do, which would certainly caught the actor Roger Davis off guard, who went on to do Alias Smith and Jones, uh, replacing Peter Duell, who had unfortunately committed suicide. Um, One of the things he would do, he would have these gloves in his hand, and he just like to say, "So come on, why don't you join us?" And he would hit the actor real hard. It wasn't in the script, and he didn't do it in rehearsal. He would hit him on the hand real hard, and Roger Davis just, they didn't want to do extra takes on Dark Shadows, um, unless they absolutely had to. They were going to roll with the first take. And Roger just turns, and you can see him laughing, but he recovers real quick. And there's just this look of delight on Humbert Allen Astrado, who played Nicholas Blair in other roles too. The lawyer he played, and did a movie with Elizabeth Taylor. Had a significant role with Elizabeth Taylor. So thank you, Todd Bradshaw, for the kitty treats money. Amen. Amen. And thank you, Vinnie Maru, for talking about great movies. Well, you've given me some more to watch. And you say someone else that I would enjoy was in, I think, Stargate. Thank you, Vinnie Maru. I appreciate that, from Las Vegas, Nevada, for hitting the Cash App along with the Tennessee Titan and Tammy and Elaine. Thank you very much. It tends to be the same people, which makes me feel bad, but I appreciate you guys so much. And anyone else, it's Media Guy 56, just for our small budget. Believe me, it's meager. It's meager. I wish, frankly, that Elon would tune into a broadcast and like it, but that doesn't seem like he does. Carol Burnett and Tim was a crack up. Well, maybe they cracked up too much, I thought, because Tim, especially with Harvey Korman, Harvey could just not hold it in. They were both brilliant, and they were both brilliant of doing the work without laughing, but Tim just had that effect on people. Just had that effect. I have a DVD of Cattle, says Neo. That is such a Neo comment. I don't know if you're talking about a movie or literally just cattle in your DVD. Oh, I see. There's more to the story. Cattle, Queen of Montana, Howdy Doody, and countless other weird films. Tim Curry always reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Did you go, Vinny? And you're a little younger, though. Did you? No, it played for years, though. Did you go for the midnight showing and bring like water guns and things like that? Because that's what they did back then. Hi, Jack and family. Hope everyone is good. Hello, Katina Swatsworth from the great state of Pennsylvania. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I even have Red Skelton. He was just a genius. What can you say about Red Skelton? He was a genius. All his characters were fun for me as a little boy watching them. He should have never died. He was a gem. How are you doing, Katina? What's going on there? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I saw the dress in the window. That's a classic, Neo. I saw the dress in the window, in the winder. I saw the dress in the winder, and I just had to have it. Yeah. The dress she saw, of course, were curtains. She saw curtains in the window. And so she went for it. It didn't start out that way as they were working out the sketch, but at one point she said, "Let's just go for it. I'll wear the whole thing, the curtain rod and everything. I'll put it all on, and I'll say, I just saw it in the window, and I had to have it." Classic, classic. Katina, saying hello to Elaine Peterson. Sanford Son, great stuff. Rest in peace, Damon Wilson. Rest in peace, Damon. Elizabeth, I'm having the big one. Yeah, he had the big one. He actually did die that way, and he died while rehearsing the show that followed Sanford and Son, Sanford, which I actually saw a taping of, but I wasn't there that day. I did see a taping of that prior, obviously, but he died he had chest pains, and they took him to the hospital where he died. I believe that's the way it went. Todd Bradshaw talking to Robin Roman. Karate Kid is a beloved movie. Another wonderful movie I saw in the theater. Is this, yeah, nothing like seeing a movie in the theater if the people around you are respectful. My favorite actor is Anthony Hopkins. Well, how can you do better? How can you do better than Anthony Hopkins? One of my top five. One of my top five. Absolutely. Did you ever see Remains of the Day? If you haven't, see it. It's fantastic. I've seen it at least 7, 8 times, maybe more. He also played C.S. Lewis in Shadowlands, another great film that doesn't get a lot of attention. Cool Todd, says Vinny, I went to a live performance in Georgetown at midnight of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a live performance. I know a few people have done it around here, but boy, that's a lot of work. What a trip. They played the movie, but everyone was dressed up and acted movie parts. Oh, that's interesting. I would like to have seen that. Even saw The Last Starfighter. You would, Neil. I have that movie, Neil. Video games were big back then at an arcade. The World's Fastest Indian is a great Anthony Hopkins movie. I've never seen that. Fastest, did you say? Yeah, he's 80 some years old now. Does a Facebook Reels video every once in a while. Sir Anthony Hopkins. I think the last time I talked about him going, he had a major problem with alcohol, caused him to lose favor with his first daughter because he was never around. She won't talk to him to this day. And he would go to the AA meetings, and the interviewer said, "Isn't it hard going to those meetings when you're famous?" He said, "Well, people would recognize me, and I would just say, I'm just a drunk just like you. I'm just a drunk just like you." But when his fancy car and pulls up to the farmer's market, oh, the ladies come running. Everybody wants a moment, wants a hug from Anthony Hopkins. My favorite movie is Meet Joe Black. It's a great movie, Robin. Yes. I've seen that at least 8 times, 10 times. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Brad Pitt was wonderful in that. Anyone who thinks Brad Pitt isn't a good actor, he is, and you'll see that in Meet Joe Black. And Mom, I'm just going to be honest and say it. Didn't he look pretty in that movie? I mean, my goodness, he looked great. He looked great. He looked every bit of the A-list movie star he is. And Anthony Hopkins was wonderful. And what was the young lady who played his love interest? She was so good. She was so cute, so good. Yes, excellent movie. Excellent. Masters of the Universe Space Camp, UHF. That's so neo. Wow. I wanted to ask a question for the guys. There was a phenomenon in the 1970s, the late 1970s, of films, a genre of films that had nothing to do with racism or anti-Semitism, but they did borrow from the theme of Hitler. But I'm not going to talk about Love Camp 7. Whoops. Oops, I did it again. Oh dear. Robin Roman, Brad Pitt looks like a young Robert Redford. He was phenomenal in that. He really was. He played the role very subtly, so you could miss how good he was really being. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see Fight Club. It just wouldn't have been my kind of movie. I don't wanna see a movie about a fight club, you know? But I've seen other things he's done. If I miss anyone or their comments, don't mean to, sorry. It sounds like me, because that's all that can happen to me. "The Godfather," says Lynn. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall, one of the heavyweights that we lost this week, and, he was just so great. I he was fine in Godfather 1 and 2. He refused to do 3 because he said, "You can pay me half of what you're gonna pay Al Pacino, but you're not gonna pay me a third. You're disrespecting me." Fair enough. They didn't, and he walked. The Apostle, you gotta see that if you haven't seen it. He does they don't get it quite right, the Pentecostal preacher, all the time in the movie, but Robert, Duvall is obviously having the time of my life until time of his life. I was having the time of my life watching him until something tragic happens in the movie, and he's on the run. Yeah, yeah, Robert Duvall lost a heavyweight there. The new David movie was cute, but David, uh, I just saw Richard Gere in a film called The Longing, 2024, which means he probably did it in 2023. You know, he definitely had some work done for this. He's all shiny, but it's not bad work. And he is good. He's not. Sometimes I think he could have been better. And I've seen a Richard Gere movie and say, is he really good in this movie? Is he doing it right or isn't he? And I thought about that in one of his most popular movies, where his wife has the French boyfriend, and he ends up offing him. You know, he plays a meek husband, but he can't stand, and he didn't mean to kill the lover, but he did. The lover was great in it, the French guy, whatever his name is. But, he's good in The Longing. He's good. It's a strange movie, but, you'll probably enjoy it if you watch it and it's on Tubi or Prime Video, one of the 2. Robert Duvall was one of my favorites of all time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What great movies by Robert Duvall am I forgetting? Because there's more than The Godfather and there's more than The Apostle. There's more to it. Well, obviously, Apocalypse Now, right? Yeah. I bet you that was one of your favorites. See, I'm keeping talking because, people seem to be having a good time, and I don't want to pull the plug. We'll go to 2:30, 2 hours and 30 minutes, okay? Porky's. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. But when it came to the peephole part, Vinny, I looked away. I was a gentleman. Wait a minute, this was the 1970s. I wasn't a gentleman then. I'm trying to be one now. Forget what I said. Huh. Lonesome Dove, you like that one, huh? Don't know if I saw it. Certainly know of the movie. Vinny was the name of that Robert Duvall played, a half brother of James Earl Jones. Hello, Rocky Mountain. Why am I calling Robin Roman Rocky Mountain Red Wing? Robin Roman. When you look fast, it almost looks like that. I'll buy that for $1, says Vinny Maru. Oh, yeah? Sure you did, Jack. Really? Well, there's a few Robert Duvall movies that I saw that I really like that are not coming to me right now. Some just stick out like The Apostle. James Earl Jones was a fine actor. Yes, yes, yes. If you build it, they will come, says the voice in the air. If you build it, they will come. And Kevin Costner decided to build it, and it still exists today. It's still a tourist attraction today. The sixth day, I don't know. So I don't know what was it about. See, I've missed some good ones. There's no doubt about it. I was busy watching all the Pacino movies and um, all the Hoffman movies and and sorry, um, others, other favorite actors and Meryl Streep movies, of course. Sean Spears is here. Hey, Jack, how are you? Hey, Sean, you're coming in very late, but please watch the replay. I'd like it if you do that. And let's see here. I'll go to my video list. And Bob Joyce Under Fire is our hot video that we released this afternoon. But as much as I like having a fairly hot video, I don't want to be telling this story, but it's a bona fide news story now. And, I'm not afraid to say I'm Team Bob Joyce unless, something was submitted to me that changed my mind, but nothing has. Nothing has in the current mix. So POV, you have bottom heavy breasts. Oh dear. Look at what I'm looking at here. Do you see that commercial? POV, you have bottom heavy breast. That's the ad that's playing right now when I click on that. Let's do analytics, which is what I want to see how she's doing. Because we've been on. Views are up 52%. More subscribers are choosing to watch this video, and they're watching longer than usual, helping to increase its reach on YouTube recommendations. I always like to hear that. So far, we have 1,800 views, 3 new subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you like anything at all, and hit the notification bell. That would be swell. 148 people have watched it as you and I have been talking amongst ourselves for the last 60 minutes. 148 people watched that instead, and that's okay with me. That's okay with me. So very, very good news there. Very, very good news. And let's see here. Just want to be sure I didn't leave anybody out. So, again, thank you, Elaine Peterson, Todd Bradshaw, Tim Spencer. Whoops, I said the whole name. And Vinnie Maru and Tammy with an I. Tammy with an I. Thank you for hitting the Cash App. So there you go. So buttons. So buttons. And here we are back on the live stream when we have another show. I think we're going to do Saturday night at 9 o'clock. I don't think I'll miss this Saturday night. Even somebody in the inner circle was looking for me Saturday night and concerned that I wasn't on. So I should have promoted that I wasn't going to do Saturday night. Every once in a while, you got to take a break, It felt nice just to go a stretch and not have to do a live, because we had done that week. We had done 2 videos, one talking about is Bob Joyce done with George Magazine, and then the other one, I got to go back to the video list now. The other one we did that week, which was another 23 minutes. Bob Joyce caught in a trap. Bob Joyce caught in a trap. He can't get out. Yeah, he can. So that's going towards 5,000 views. So I'm happy about that. So Jupiter's Realm is still here. When we visited HOF, I don't believe there was an assistant pastor. No, although I've heard that Matt Joyce does the Wednesday Bible studies. Tom Tom Joyce does the Wednesday night Bible studies. Praise the Lord, Katina. Retracted message there. Don't feel bad, Jack. We are easily led astray. We make it back in the pasture, though, because of our good shepherd. Yeah, I mean, um, the saints are just the sinners who fall down but get up, says Bob Carlyle. And he's right about that. So give him a butterfly kiss. Give him a butterfly kiss. Imagine contemporary Christian artist. He started with the group Allies as the lead singer, of course, and then he went solo. And then one day, someone says, "You know that song that you've been keeping in the drawer? You got to release that. It's called Butterfly Kisses, right? You got to release that song." And that was his big break. Next thing, he's on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno singing it, and it sold millions and millions of copies. Everybody wanted him to come to the wedding. He started doing personal appearances at high-end weddings because they wanted him to sing it live for them and sing a few other songs too. Let's see. Here's my Bible. The one that I want to have more than one here. E.T. loved it, loved it, loved it. Phone Home, for goodness sakes. Yeah, back in the day, that was huge, a huge blockbuster. Amen, 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 Aileen. I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love Carmen Licciadello. He's with the Lord Jesus Christ now. Mm-hmm. If I missed your comment, it wasn't intentional. Jerry Bridges says, "Love Quigley Down Under." Who was in that, Jerry? Quigley Down Under. Yeah, I've always got to battle. The flesh is, never far away, trying to make me either do something foolish or say something foolish. That's basically the deal. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., the FBI. I remember him more from being on the Trinity Broadcasting Network, doing a 4-minute feature that would air like 3 times a day called Reading Through the Word with Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Oh, talk about classy actor like the guy from Dynasty. He looked great in his older years. Probably looked better in his 70s than he did when he was in his 20s, that kind of thing. Let's see. Well, the great Gene Ho says we should read the gospel, so let's do it. Matthew 12, starting with verse 39 in the NIV. A wicked and adulterous generation asks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, whale, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh will stand up at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, for they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and now one greater than Jonah is here. The queen of the south will rise at the judgment with this generation and condemn it, for she came from the ends of the earth to listen to Solomon's wisdom, and now one greater than Solomon is here. When an evil spirit, Jesus speaking, when an evil spirit comes out of a man, it goes through arid places, ARID, seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. And the final condition of that man is worse than the first. That is how it will be with this wicked generation. Scary stuff there. Scary stuff. All right. Stop coming back. Something that blocks me. Hmm. So, yeah, I think we'll be on Saturday night, Lynn Redgrave. Amen. Thank you, Todd. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the prayers. Keep praying for Vinnie Maru. Pray for Carolyn Mullins, who announced here that she has frontal lobe early Alzheimer's, the Bruce Willis version. Pray for Carolyn Mullins. What I do when I pray at night, I put my hands on my head and I say, please heal her mind, Christari's uh, brain, uh, heal her from the top of her head to the soles of her feet, wash the plaque away, wash the tumor away. In Jesus' name. Pray for, same for Vinnie Maru. I pray for healing in his body. I pray for others too, like Brenda Noyce. Didn't see Brenda here today. None of our Brendas were here tonight. Maybe in the replay. Maybe in the replay. So that's it. We're past. We're long. We're long tonight. It says 2:30:44 though. Oh, I came on a little late. That's why I rushed here. I did after spending just a little time with Karen. So you guys are the best. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for those who hit the thanks button and for those who hit the Cash App as well. And you can do that in the replay too. Thank you very much, Vinnie Maru. Thank you as always. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Robin Roman. Thank you, Neo. You're a wild man. Here's somebody new. Well, one troll at the end. That's all. Only one bad person in the whole show. That's not bad. And also Jody Smith hit that thanks button. Thank you. Very faithful. Katina and the Waves. Thank you very, very much for being here tonight. And Lynn Redgrave and Pam Donnelly. Yes, Pam Donnelly. She liked the Police Academy movie and all the rest. Jody Smith, I said. Sean Spears, we didn't get really too much time. Just was trying to think of his name last week, and now he's past. Robert Duvall. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you for watching Worldwide Ramblings, everybody. A big God bless you. Bye-bye for now.